What's up everyone, I'm Janine the Alchemist and welcome back to my channel. So I'm gonna be making this video for a second time because you guys all told me I was talking too much, and you're right. You know, sometimes I could be like that guy from Lost who's like, the numbers except with symbols, and I could basically I don't need to be getting into like the fabric of the universe with symbols. I just need to be reacting to the music video. I don't know, I'm blind reacting, so I sometimes end up going on tangents. The point is, right now, we're gonna be getting straight to the point. I love this music video, so that is why I'm filming it again for you guys. Also, another side note is I can't watch so much of the music and let the music go or I'm gonna get copyrighted. So that's kind of why I cut it off and don't really play the song, but I'll do my best for you. Here's part 2 of Michael Kiwanuka's Cold Little Heart music video. Like this video if you want to see more like this. Subscribe for my content. I'm so close to 10K. Yeah, so let me just pull up the video. And I believe we left off where he was spinning. I'm just gonna look at it through the filmmaker's symbolism lens rather than all the everything. I'd still go back to part 1 if you don't mind me talking a little bit and going off on like ancient symbolism. Yeah, here we are. Yeah, in his old hometown, that's right. Right. So when he was spinning, I remember I was saying that it almost looks like he's pulling back a bow and arrow to aim true, to aim better, or that maybe he doesn't know which way to aim. I don't know, something about the choreography of him spinning and going like this made me feel like he's an archer. I could be wrong there. Like I said, I'm just blind reacting, guys. Freaking good. All right, and I have to mention with the rain and with him looking up at the sky, that he may be pleading with God, and the rain is like a baptism. I bring this up because I didn't mention it before, and I had someone tell me that Michael Kiwanuka is a Christian, so I have to put that into play. Because, you know, rain is like a baptism, and the car being stuck, like I said previously, is like a failure to start, a failure, and him spinning is like a failure to know what direction to go in, or that he keeps starting and he doesn't know what to do. So I will mention he's probably pleading with God. By the way, just because I deconstructed from Christianity, it doesn't mean that I don't know good music when I hear it. I am gonna read the symbols as I see them, however I see them. Right, so I remember mentioning that he sees the storm coming, and we've got the older gentleman and the younger gentleman, and archetypically speaking, it could be him with his younger self, but it could also be him remembering the people who raised him, maybe his father or his older brother or his uncle. We don't really know who the older gentleman is, but I will stand by my statement that it is a cycle and acting out what that cycle is. And I think I mentioned before, being in the forest, right? The forest can be a metaphor for, in film especially. There are people who worked on this film, I don't remember his name, but he also worked in the film Get Out, and I noticed that they used the same, they used the forest symbolism the same way. So I'm gonna say it's like being lost. It's not being able to see through the woods, it's lost. It's almost like that. This video makes me feel like we are in his memory of his childhood, and that's why it's almost like you don't see where the road ends. It's just surrounded by forest, and the city that he's in is kind of a dead space. So I always see that as this is in his head and what he's thinking. I say that a lot, but that's just how I see things, and that's kind of what art is telling us sometimes, that the way that he is remembering the way he was raised and this inner turmoil he's going through, it's like a state of feeling that he's in this storm, with his car broken down, being lost in the woods. And also with the car and how he is teaching him how to drive, a car is transportation, right? in my opinion, it's saying that this is who taught him how to drive. This is who taught him how to this is who raised him, how to get to where he's going to go in life, taught him what he's going to do with life. And so because it's a cycle, and that is who taught him how to drive, and that's how he was raised and how he was taught to live, that is why he doesn't know where to go now in life, because of how he was raised, because of how he knows how to get places based on how he was raised. My favorite, and what made me want to do the video also, is the scenes of him thinking while he's washing the dishes, and it shows him in the middle of the street and it shows his shadow. Of course, I'm going to make a video about shadows because that's like my thing. He's thinking and he's afraid. He's thinking about these things that go, it shows the bushes, those things that go bump in the night. It almost reminds me of like the big bad wolf or something, in the shadow of his fears of, we went over the lyrics in the previous video, so go back and watch that. But he's talking about, is he even able to do what he needs to do? Is he even capable? There is a doubt in the song, in the lyrics, about, is he even able to do what he needs to do, to become what he needs to become. Like, he has inspiration for what he wants to do and be, but he's afraid that he's not going to be able to do it, that he is not capable of doing it. And he's like looking up and like pleading out to God in the rain. And when I mentioned that black dog earlier on, it's the symbol of death. Sometimes though, we stop right there and we think it's death. There is a literal death in this story, but also death is a transformation. The darkness comes before the light, and the rain can be a scary thing, a scary turmoil with the thunder and lightning, but it's also, like I said, a baptism, a washing, a cleansing, and then eventually, later on in the video, sees it coming. Also, I want to mention the cigarette. Him showing the cigarette is implying that there is something that has to do with addictions or vices that plays into this stunted issue of, will I be able to, it might not even literally have to do with addictions. It's like saying that these things in this cycle are hard to break. Can I overcome it? I can't stand myself. There's a lot of self-hatred as he sees the storm is coming. In my heart, in this cold heart. There's a yearning and there's a beauty to this choreography, but he's spinning around and around in the darkness, not knowing if he's gonna be able to make it through, and I just think that we all know that feeling. So there's this part right here where it shows his chest. Obviously, he's dying or something in his car here, the older gentleman, but also there was like a flash, and there's a part where it shows the morning, and it's him too, with his shirt off, and you can see his heart pump in his chest, which is a call out to his courage. So if you really watch the video through, I think it's saying that this is him, the adult version and the child version, that parts of himself died. Maybe it's alluding to tragedies that have happened in his family and in his past and his failures, but because there he is, naked with his shirt off, almost like I said, being baptized, nakedness or being shirtless, being a vulnerability, being a purity of himself in the rain, and it's light out. It's alluding to that he does find that courage, and that morning does come, and the rain that was scary is shifted to a rain that is cleansing. And I didn't look it up, but I was told that Michael Kiwanuka is a Christian, so that there might be elements of that, whereas, you know, Christ's baptism and being renewed in Christ's light or whatever, that probably plays into it. When the choreography goes and he's almost like double jointing his arm, I think that, like, it looks to me, and it really stood out to me when I first watched this, and also at the same time that the kid is doing that double jointed choreography, and then the older gentleman is like dying in the car. He is distorting and shifting and going beyond. Things are uncomfortable and shifting in a way that he has never felt, in ways that feel unnatural, in ways that are new, in ways that are scary. But those are the things that happen usually before we break through into a new phase of our lives, because in reality, we do have deaths to ourselves. Like, I'm gonna keep relating it to Jesus, since I was told that the singer's a Christian. So we have to look at it through that lens. That message of dying to yourself, and we feel that death, it's painful. Transforming is painful, and we don't always know what's going to happen. This looks like a tragedy as he's looking at the car and he sees what's happened after this big rain came and it basically poured down like a flood onto the car, and the child is looking back at it. But the feeling of the song, it feels like there is still a glimmer of hope. So I don't think it just ends in tragedy, because again, it shows the gentleman older and renewed with his shirt off, and in the light of the sun, you also have this arc where it's almost like after the storm and after the death, the kid is looking at the sky and it's light out again. So the sun did come out again at the end of this turmoil, this turmoil of that dark night of the soul. That's also why I think it's his inner dialogue with his older and younger self. He's looking at the car and seeing the reality of what has happened, because we don't usually grow and we don't understand what's going on until we really see clearly, especially when you get older, you really see with older eyes the reality of what's happened, and then you walk away from it renewed like a child. And there's that fool. If you ever know the archetype of the fool, it's starting things fresh, and you let go of the past and you go looking at things with a new perspective and new eyes. The car is white, so it's bittersweet. I'm also, he's not just a child, he's an adolescent. It's an age where a lot of realities of life hit you and you're really thinking about a lot of things. This white car is very much like a chariot of death. There's so many death symbolisms, which is why I talked about the winter and the darkness in the previous video. And when he says, thinking about where I've been ain't helping me start, it's not helping him start his new life. That's why it's bittersweet. And that's why this song is so relatable, because sometimes it's like the whole song is about the dark night of the soul. It's about the inner turmoil. It's about, will I be able to get out of this, and pleading with God and just continuing to go on though. So I do feel a positive. I cry every time I watch it. I don't know that I have to say that there's a resolution of it's a good or bad ending, or the point is that he's pondering this, he's thinking this, and how is he going to not let the monsters under his bed stop him from living his life and reaching his potential. So anyway, I hope that cleared some things up for those of you who told me that you were confused. I hope I got straight to the point, and just reading the symbolism without getting into without dissecting it too much. Go listen to the whole song yourself. It's an amazing song. There's actually a longer version of it that is incredible. This song really helped me through some hard times. I just think that it's so real, and I felt exactly this way before when I was younger. So that's all I have for you guys this time. Bye.